Hello, everybody. Welcome back. How you doing today? My name is Tony Zano, and welcome to episode 83 of the Affiliate Party Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about studying your customer. Now, what do I mean? I'm going to tell you a little story time with your friend Tony today. Okay? I'm going to take you back to the 80s. The late 80s, I believe. Late 80s, early 90s. One of the two. Probably the early 90s. I remember I grew up in a small town off the Mississippi River. The name of this town is called New Madrid, Missouri. It's a wonderful place to grow up. I don't know about living there now, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But back in the day, New Madrid, Missouri, we didn't have a lot of restaurants. We had one restaurant. The name of it was Cindy's. Cindy's closed down for whatever reason. Doesn't really matter. Then we had a restaurant come in called Jay's Crispy Fried Chicken. I remember Jay's. They had a location up the road in the town, 20 miles up the road. Jay's, they had a reputation. They had pretty good chicken. So Jay's came to New Madrid, and we first time we went to Jay's, I remember, parents went, got the chicken, went back home, we ate the chicken, we fell in love. We said, what a wonderful chicken place, and we don't have to drive 25 miles to go to KFC. We can go to Jay's right down the street from my house. It was literally right down the street from my house, probably not even a half a mile, I don't think. So Jay's was in there rocking and rolling. People was loving the chicken and everything. And then, for some odd reason, Jay's did something that's still a head scratcher to me to this day. Jay's started selling hamburgers. Now, why did they start selling hamburgers? Who asked them to sell a hamburger? Nobody asked these people at Jay's Crispy Fried Chicken to sell a hamburger. Nobody in my neighborhood, nobody that I knew, nobody was looking for them for hamburgers. We got a hamburger place somewhere down the road somewhere. We're not looking for them to sell hamburgers. And Jay started selling hamburgers, and it went downhill pretty quick. I think they just stopped making chicken, really. Like, they really just went from here this place was. They had great chicken. Some of the best fried chicken I probably ever had. And I've had plenty of fried chicken over my travels in life. And it was some of the best fried chicken I had. Why would you go from doing that? Why would you go from something that's working? Like I've said before, you dig the well to get the flow of water coming to you. As far as customers, as far as everything, you know. You dig a well. Jay's, they had a well dug. It was full of water. It was full of people. Every day there was people at Jay's Crispy Fried Chicken. There was people there every day in good old New Madrid, Missouri, eating up that fried chicken. And for some reason, they decided to sell hamburgers. And it went south fast. And before you know it, Jay's shut down their location, and they was gone. And that is still one of the more head-scratching things in life. And it's an example of you not studying your customer base. Because sometimes people get ahead of themselves, and people think, I should do this and I should do that. But it's like, why would you do that if nobody's asking? If nobody's asking for, if it's like if I turn this, it's like me turning this podcast into a religious podcast. Did you come here for religion? Did you come here for religion? Did you come here to hear the word? No. You're not coming here every day for me to preach, for me to give you sermons. This ain't the TD Jakes radio hour. This ain't Kenneth Copeland. You know, this you know, Joyce Myers. This not the gospel hour. You're not coming here for religion. You're not coming here to catch the ghosts. You know what I mean? You come here to hear about marketing. You come here to hear about entrepreneur stuff. You come here for all that. But you ain't coming here for religious. So if all of a sudden I just said, you know what, podcast is starting to work. This podcast is growing and growing, and now I want to talk about religion. I mean, what is that? Why? For what? Who asked you? So sometimes you have to study your audience. You have to know what these people want. You have to know what people want. You have to know people's desires. You have to know their hopes, their wishes. You have to know these things. You have to know. And that's where Jay's failed, because my hope was for them to stay open down the street from my house so I could keep going back there and eating more chicken and more chicken. But Jay's failed me, okay? They let me down, okay? Because they started selling hamburgers. And the hamburgers was they good. So study is, and there are plenty of examples of this. Like nobody, like Coca-Cola, when they came out with new Coke, for some reason they decided, you know what, Coca-Cola, this is not working. We're gonna come up with new Coke. One of the worst things that ever happened to the Coca-Cola company was new Coke, because nobody was looking for new Coke. Nobody. That went. I mean, you know, of course they had to come back with, oh no, we got classic Coca-Cola. Hey, come back, everybody. We got classic Coke. So. And I remember, there's been quite a few examples of like that. It's like, why? Did anybody ask you? I remember when Pepsi had Clear Pepsi, and it was like, Clear Pepsi, okay, but I wonder what made them do that? And it's like, Clear Pepsi's it's alright, but they put a lot of money into it, and it just, like, sometimes there's nothing wrong with sticking to what's working for you. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, do you want to grow stale? Now, you don't want to go the JCPenney route. You don't want to go the Sears route, where you just stay the same all the time. I'm not saying do that, but you're not gonna, McDonald's, all of a sudden, McDonald's is not gonna start selling filet mignon in the restaurant. McDonald's is not gonna get into the steak business. McDonald's is not gonna sell you rib pies all of a sudden. The only rib they selling you is McRibs. They're not gonna sell you a T-bone steak with a loaded baked potato and dinner rolls. McDonald's ain't finna do that. Don't go to the extreme. Yes, you have a business. Yes, you want to expand. Yes, you want to expound on what's working. I'm not saying that. But until you get a plant, put the plant in the ground. And please, let the plant grow. Know the audience. Don't chop the tree down when the tree's not ready to be chopped. Why? Don't do that. Do not make that mistake. Please, if something's working for you, you have to emphasize this, because people would do things that is so head scratching. It's ridiculous sometimes when it comes to business. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you go off the course when that is working for you? It's like, you ever watch basketball and the guy has a wide open layup, and instead of him taking a wide open layup, he kicks the ball back out to the guy at the 3-point line. You see a lot of people doing that these days. It's like, why would you? That doesn't make sense. Or it's like the guy, you're down by 1 point. You're down by 1 point in a basketball game. You know, it's 20 seconds left, and they do a step back. They do a fade 3-point shot, a step back fadeaway. What you doing? We got 20 seconds left, and you're doing step back fadeaways when they're down by a point. we need a better play than that. So sometimes don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. Don't outthink yourself, and don't build the tree. I mean, plant the seed, water the tree. Water the plant, watch the plant grow, cultivate it. It starts to get branches. And you go, you know what? This is working for me. Let me add something. Don't change everything if it's working, but you can add things. Like I said, don't be stale. JCPenney, Sears, they made the mistakes. Sears, back in the day, the 80s, catalog, you used to get the catalog, you'd be like, ooh, Sears catalog. You film through it, you're looking, you're like, ooh, Sears. And now Sears is an afterthought of life. I mean, who's going to Sears these days, huh? Last time I went to Sears, I think I bought two pair of pants for like $10-20, something like that. And it was bone dry at Sears. There wasn't nobody in Sears, and I thought, man. And I only stopped there because it was a traffic jam in Atlanta. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just stop at Sears right here. I see Sears, and I haven't been to Sears in a long time. So, I mean, that's the only reason why I stopped. So, I mean, but yeah, don't study the people. Study the people. If you're in the health business, you're in the health. Study that. Study what people want. Study what people like. Study the trends and everything like that. But don't. And if the studying's paid off and the studying's working and whatever you're doing is working, don't veer off. Don't do a whole 360 or 180 or whatever you want to say. Don't do it. Especially while something is working. I mean, because it's funny because the restaurant that came after Jay's, I worked at in high school, and I used to be in there, and I thought to myself, man, if Jay's would have just not sold hamburgers, I'd have been working at Jay's, and I would have just been back there making chicken, and I'd have just been happy, because making chicken is sounds a lot better to me than making goofy hamburgers, you know what I mean? Like, the restaurant I worked at, it was okay. It was alright, but it wasn't nothing. Well, it was good about. Before I go, I'll tell you a quick story. I mean, have you ever gassed something up to like? This is off the business topic now, but have you ever, you might be from a place and you go, so and so. You come home with me. You know what? I'm taking you to this restaurant. This is the best restaurant in town. There's no other place like it. Or have you ever said, hey, my aunt, she makes the best, pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie in the world. Check it out. And then when you take them over there, and then you come to find out that the place is not as good as it was. That's how it was at this restaurant. I told my wife, I said, oh, this used to be I said, back in 1997, let me tell you something, girl. I said, back in 1997, that's the best restaurant in the world. And I took her there, and woo, it was off the mark. It made me look like a stone cold jackass, okay? Because the food was gross, and it was a little pricey. I was like, oh, hold on. When y'all start charging these big city prices all of a sudden, the food is terrible, but yeah, so be careful whenever you take somebody home with your, if you're from a place and you haven't been there in a long time, be careful. You'll fall on your face. But of course, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, but my wife, I remember her grandma came to visit, and she said, my grandma makes good sweet potato pie, blah, blah, blah. Then her grandma made a sweet potato pie, and then her grandma, I remember me and my wife, because we always laugh about this even today. Grandma made a sweet potato pie. Took a bite into the sweet potato pie, and I said, this sweet potato pie is missing sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, every ingredient I think known to man, allspice, anything and everything that you put in the sweet potato pie, it was missing. And then my wife, she said, Grandma, the sweet potato pie, she said, baby, I don't use sugar no more. I don't put sugar in my sweet potato pies no more. And we just sort of looked at each other, and she shook her head, and then she said, I said, I know the feeling. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. But like I said before, be careful about the whole changing. If something's working, really, if something's working, then keep doing it. I mean, you can, like I said, you can expand on it, expound on it. You can grow into other things, but don't just do a whole, change and everything like that. And now if something's not working, of course you change it. But if something's working and it's really working well for you, then don't just do a whole 360, okay? With that being said, my name is Tony Rizzano. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Affiliate Party Podcast. Tomorrow we're gonna have a major announcement, so stay tuned. I believe if you listen to this podcast long enough, you know what the announcement is gonna be. We might make I'm pretty sure we're gonna make the announcement tomorrow, but just stay tuned anyway. All right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed episode 83 of the Affiliate Party Podcast. My name is Tony Rizzano. We will be coming back to you tomorrow with another hard-hitting episode. That being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, hope you wrote your goals down this morning or this evening, whichever one, but be doing them, okay? Told you. Last quarter, I'm going to stay on top of you. Anyway, as always, everybody, peace.